Final Fantasy VII R is officially out of the Japanese bestseller charts. It's being eclipsed by games like Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Ring Fit Adventure, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart Deluxe, new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Minecraft, and of course the holy fucking shit. The Switch is dominating the PS4. 70,000 units this week compared to PS4's 3,000. Wow, the PS4 is just straight up dead in Japan. I don't know why people aren't bringing this up more, but yeah. Final Fantasy VII R is not selling a whole lot. It basically managed to sell 4 million copies because of the brand name of Final Fantasy VII, and it completely fell off a cliff. We're at the point now. I think it's safe to say that Final Fantasy has basically lost its audience. It has not drawn in a new audience. It pandered hard to hardcore, nostalgia-blinded fanboys, right? Sort of. Okay. Well, it alienated plenty of people as well, but essentially, they've changed Final Fantasy so much that it's completely lost its identity. Like, the only people supporting it and enabling it now are the biggest, most hardcore bootlickers and the sort of people who will buy any major PlayStation game as it comes out. Actual fans, though, have been jaded by Final Fantasy for years, and I think this is the end result. Like, this is the moment, I think, where it's safe to say that, like, Final Fantasy has lost all of its appeal. It has no real momentum going forward. Like, each game is going to sell less and less. If Final Fantasy hadn't been such a big brand to begin with, like, every release, it feels like the sales keep going down. Like, Final Fantasy 13 sold like 7 million units, 15 did 5, this did 4, the next one will probably do like 3 or 3.5, and it's gonna keep going down until like we reach the point where Persona, Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, all these other JRPGs start to eclipse it. It's inevitable. Square Enix, I think, has sort of lost their reputation as being the best RPG developers in the industry. Games like Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default aside, they simply haven't been making enough traditional Nintendo games to really justify the hype and publicity they get. Like, people have gone to extreme lengths to try and defend them over the years, right? But this is this is it, right? This is the moment. Like, they've been replaced by other companies, and as a result, the industry doesn't need them anymore. Like, they've essentially been replaced by other developers, right? From Japan, right? There are better RPGs out there. Like, I don't think it's even debatable. Like, Fire Emblem Three Houses, better than Final Fantasy VII R. Like, Persona 5, better than Final Fantasy VII R. Like, it's not... Like, everything about Final Fantasy VII R was a complete disaster. Like, even if the public wasn't really willing to address or talk about it at all. Like, I am just very, very, very frustrated. Like, it's gotten to the point, I think, where I don't think most people will even miss them when they're gone, because I myself, as being a fan of Final Fantasy for several years, there are still plenty of classic Final Fantasy games I have not played. 3, 9, 9 I need to finish, 5 I need to finish. Like, 1 through 3 I haven't owned. They haven't been re-released on Nintendo consoles. I would love to play a lot of these games, right? But I just haven't had the opportunity to. Like, I've been playing other stuff. They haven't been re-released on Nintendo consoles for some reason. Since they haven't been re-released, I haven't had an opportunity to play them, and well, basically, I'm not looking at new Final Fantasy games. Like, I just don't. Like, I was considering trying Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14. I don't think I will because of the monthly subscription fees. Like, I think I am just going to avoid them. Final Fantasy 15, I'm actively avoiding. 13, I will not play until it gets a Nintendo port. They'll probably do something stupid like release Final Fantasy 13 Part 2. Final Fantasy 13 2 on Switch before the original. Like, that's the kind of shit these people pull on a regular basis. The real-time combat in Final Fantasy VII R was an attempt at trying to bring in newer, younger fans to get away from those outdated turn-based combat, and I don't think it did anything other than just alienate old fans further. Like, that's the thing about Final Fantasy VII R. It was clearly an attempt at trying to pander to, like, fans of the original, but at the same time, like, every single creative decision they made was doing nothing but antagonizing fans of the original, from the gameplay changes to like the episodic nature to just everything about it. Final Fantasy VII R just floundered, and despite the gaming media's attempts at pretending it was a success, like really. Why isn't the gaming media addressing like the decline in sales, the decline in popularity, the decline in quality? Like, probably because it's a PlayStation exclusive. Shitting on Final Fantasy VII is kind of like admitting that PlayStation should never have existed to begin with, I think. It's similar to how people aren't really talking about Metal Gear not really existing anymore. You know what I mean? Like, or Silent Hill, or like any of these other critically acclaimed PlayStation exclusives. Those don't exist anymore, right? But we're not going to talk about that. We're just gonna bitch about like F-Zero and Star Fox, Chibi Robo, Metroid instead. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It is ridiculous. How much longer can it go on? Not much longer, I don't think. Like, I legit think Final Fantasy 16 is going to bomb, right? Like, if it's no matter what it is, like, I think it's going to have some kind of critical problem. People aren't going to care for it. It's going to flounder on release. It's like I said, like, I think 15 has finally been, like, the end of the franchise, right? They don't have legitimate fans. Like, they don't. Like, they have people, they're basically Star Wars sycophants, right? People who go to every Star Wars movie just because it's Star Wars without really stopping to consider why people like this thing to begin with. Like, that's Final Fantasy right now. But like Star Wars, it's reaching the point where people are just not caring anymore. Like, plenty of people didn't see the spin-off films. I didn't see episode 8 or 9. I have no intention to. They are irrelevant to me. I'm just going to stay home and play Nintendo, right? Like, that's all I want to do with my time right now. It's just... Final Fantasy VII R is a failure, even though the gaming media does not want to admit it.